Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Recliner Sports Talk. My name is Nick Spadafino.
Brandon Hennessy.
All right, just kind of about us a little bit. We just kind of want to start the show. Brandon and I sit here, talk and argue about sports all the time. We think it's pretty comical. You know, you guys might not think it's comical at all, but we figure why don't we just put some of these conversations on camera to see where it goes.
We're doing this for ourselves. You know, we've been doing this our entire lives, literally. You know, I've been watching ESPN for my entire life. When you see, you know, PTI and Around the Horn, and, you know, I always say, why can't I do that?
Yeah, these guys know nothing more than we do. We really believe that, and it's no offense to those guys. I think they're just guys that enjoy sports. They got the right opportunity. So here's our opportunity. We're making it for ourselves. We just want to sit here, talk sports. Okay? All right, first on the board for today, okay, we're going to do the Thanksgiving week NFL picks. A lot on the board. I don't think there's any buys this week, are there? No, so every team's playing. A lot of games Thursday. Good slate of games, actually important games. You know, usually we have not been getting those important games, so it's nice to see that. And then some important games on the weekend. So first game up, here's how it's going to work. I'm going to go pick my team, give my little spiel, and Brandon then will do the same. Okay, so Houston at Detroit. My man Deshaun Watson last week put the team on his back. I think he's going to do the same again. I think Houston's just kind of been waiting for that big game all year. I think that win at New England, even though New England's not the team that they have been, I really do think Houston, that might have been that big win. And I think that, again, Deshaun Watson, that he's going to ride off that last game. So I'm going Houston over Detroit there.
All right. Got a stat for you. Houston, worst in the league rush defense. They give up 150 yards a game. The Patriots, they beat the Patriots. The Patriots don't have the best running back. Burkhead got injured, and I don't trust Damian Harris. I know that's Bob Brown's boy, but I don't trust Damian Harris. Detroit, guess what? They can't run the ball. We all know that. Swift might be injured, and if he is, Adrian Peterson is not running for 150 yards a game. I have Houston, and I have Houston covering -3.
All right, there you go. You even got the -3 in there. All right, next game up, Washington at Dallas. Now, I am a Washington football fan, so these bias picks are usually on my side here. But I really don't ever see the Washington football team winning big games. But I think this is that first one. Riverboat Ron is going to get the boys fired up. Here's the thing. Cowboys, our line's been struggling all year. Yeah, they got some guys back, guys like Zach Martin. I believe they might be moving him to tackle, they're saying. New position. Guess what? Taste some of Chase Young for me. I'm taking Washington. I am a little nervous. Okay, obviously, Cowboys have the weapons. I don't think Andy Dalton's a bad quarterback. I talked about him possibly going to Washington here in the offseason. But guess what? I'm taking Washington. First big win under Riverboat Ron at Dallas on Thanksgiving. Turkey's going to taste a little bit better on Thursday.
That's a homer pick. I'll tell you why Dallas wins the game. Dallas looked phenomenal last week. The Vikings are the best 4-win team I've ever laid my eyes on. I thought Dallas was dead in the water. And you know what? They look good. Their O-line looked good. Zach Martin, shout out in Notre Dame.
That's what I said, yeah.
He could play whatever offensive line position and be better than half the tackles in the league. So I trust that. I trust that. Zeke's going to run.
The homer pick, he's a Notre Dame fan. He's sitting here saying Zach Martin.
I hate the Cowboys.
Oh.
Zeke is going to have a big day. Andy Dalton looked pretty decent last week. I think Alex Smith, I will give him the credit. I think Alex Smith is very good. I think he will play well. It's Thanksgiving. It's a rivalry game. You know, it could go either way. With that being said, I am taking Dallas, and I'm taking Dallas -3, as much as I hate to do that, because, listen, I feel like here we go. The Giants have the 7th hardest schedule remaining. The Eagles have the 3rd hardest schedule remaining. Washington, I think, is like the 15th hardest schedule remaining. And Dallas has the #1 easiest schedule remaining. They all have 3 wins. obviously, make the playoffs here. So I want Dallas to lose. I actually think Dallas can make the playoffs as much as I hate it.
A hot take here. Washington does have the best receiver in the NFC East, by the way. And Terry McLaurin, obviously, everybody I'm sure has seen the stat of those receiving yards compared with, who was it? Oh, Jerry Rice. Yeah, best receiver ever. Okay?
Oh, McLaurin.
All right, here we go. So on to Baltimore
You're not going to
at Pittsburgh, okay? Listen, if this was 10 years ago and I'm getting pumped to watch my man Joe Flacco play Ben Roethlisberger here in a defensive game with Troy Polamalu, Ed Reed, all the defensive guys you can imagine, I would be pumped. I am not pumped for this game Thursday night or guess what? Baltimore, when they are successful, they run the rock. Well, guess what? Mark Ingram, J.K. Dobbins, J.K. all day, fell in love with the Cocoa. They got COVID. They are out. So you're telling me they're going to run the ball effectively without those two? Listen, love Lamar, love the offense there. Oh, another big loss for him, Brandon. Nick Boyle, okay? In on
Delaware.
A lot of stats. A lot of
Delaware.
Delaware connections here, right here. Go
Delaware.
Hens. Listen, he was in on a lot of plays. He was their modern-day fullback. Okay?
tight end.
He's that extra tackle, that fullback
He's
that
good.
they need on those RPOs. He's not there. So now you're down 3 starter. Hey, it's a wrap. Pittsburgh gets it done, go 11-0.
I think this is a special year for Pittsburgh. I don't think it's their best team that they've ever had. I don't. But I think it's a Cinderella year. This is a weird year. We all know it. I have the Steelers winning this game. I had them covering. I have them Steelers everything. T.J. Watt and Bud Dupree are, I'd have to say, they're the best pass rushers in the NFL right now. It's kind of hard to not say that. The Steelers' run defense is phenomenal. Their pass defense is phenomenal. Minka Fitzpatrick, 2 interceptions again last week. The dude is an animal. Miami, I don't know what you're doing. Why are you trading him for peanuts?
Hey,
but that's a different story.
It's paying out a little bit.
A little bit, but come on now. I mean, you literally gave the best defense in the NFL
Hey, quickest
a
tank.
top 5 corner.
Quickest tank ever, right? What'd they tank? 2 years? Now they're back.
I know,
Let's go.
but I think Fitzpatrick. I mean, come on now. At Alabama, all the dude, he made plays. That's all he did.
Yeah.
In college football, if you hear a guy's name all the time, that's a great thing. That's what you want to see. The Ravens have lost 2 in a row, but I don't see them.
No.
I don't see them on a short week where you want to have a lot of time to recover. To the Steelers are a good team. You want that extra few days. They're coming on a short week. I don't see them beating the Steelers at all.
So you're going Pittsburgh.
I'm going Pittsburgh.
All right. Next game, Chargers at Buffalo. All right. Listen. Josh Allen, MVP candidate, right? MVP candidate. Buffalo Bills are balling.
I
right
don't
now.
know about that.
Hey, Chargers though. Chargers might have, and people are going to go crazy about this, one of the best quarterback receiver duos in the league. And I'm not saying because Herbert's an all-star right now, right? He's not a Pro Bowler right now. You could make that argument. But big stat, just saw this morning, this is on pace for the best rookie quarterback season ever, okay? But here's the thing. Keenan Allen is a beast. He's helping my man out a lot. Chargers cannot get it done, though. They wanted to lose to the Jets. Last week, okay? Ended up pulling it out. I'm going Buffalo, all right? I'm riding the Buffalo train there. I really think Josh Allen is legit. My man, Randall Fogan, Dover High, JV basketball coach, we love this pick. Big Buffalo fan. I'm going Buffalo. I really do think they are the team to beat in that division.
I am a Buffalo guy this year, but I've watched a few games. Their defense is not the same. They're not the same. Especially, believe it or not, like their run defense. Usually you think Buffalo, I know they have a really good pass rushing defense, but their run defense is awful. With that being said, I don't trust Balaj. Again, Bob Brown.
Bob Brown's our buddy.
Loves Balaj. I like Balaj. I don't see him running for 100+ yards. But I see Justin Herbert throwing for, I'm going to say 380 yards against the Bills. I have the Chargers winning the game. They're the only team other than the Pittsburgh Steelers, 9-0, Kansas City Chiefs, 8-1, who have not lost a game. They've been within every game by a score. They haven't gotten blown out. They have 2 wins. I said the Vikings are the best 4-win team ever. I think the Chargers might be the best 2-win team. Or do they?
So what
Do they have 3 wins?
I'm not sure, but regardless, you're telling me they're the best 2 to 3 win team. Hey, guess what? Buffalo has a
Doesn't
winning
matter.
record. They're leading division. That's why the Buffalo Bills are the pick. All right, Brandon can put
Chargers
the Chargers.
win.
Hey,
Herbert,
that's going to be a horrendous
No,
parlay this weekend.
it won't
buddy.
be.
Horrendous.
No, parlay the Chargers. I'm taking the Chargers to cover at +5.5. That's an easy cover. The Chargers do not lose games
Can't
by
wait to
more than
recap this
7.
next week.
But we're not picking spread. We're picking straight up
we're not.
games.
We're picking straight up money line.
And guess what? I'm still going with those Chargers.
All right. All right, on to the next game, Arizona at New England. All right, Arizona's been the hot team this year, right? They got Kyler, love some Kyler, 2-sport athlete. He's flying. He looks like Allen Iverson with the crossover when he was running out there, having the ball out. Love it. Hey, Hopkins, probably best receiver in the league. He's been the best receiver in the league, all right? It's hard to go against him. Guess what? The man has not really had a quarterback. Listen, love Deshaun Watson. I talked about it earlier. He's not some top 5 quarterback. I wouldn't even say he's top 10, okay? And I'd say Kyler Murray might be creeping in there, especially if you're a fantasy guy, right? Mm-hmm. But let's be honest, as good as Kyler Murray is right now, he is in his 2nd year in the league. There's a lot better quarterbacks out there. And guess what? Just because he's a little bit better, Hopkins balling again. But I know this is not your usual New England team. But I don't see Belichick losing a home game against the Arizona Cardinals. Doesn't even sound right. Doesn't even sound right, okay? I understand that the Cardinals are kind of that team right now that people are liking. They're exciting. Fantasy guys loving them. I'm sitting there saying Cam and the boys are going to strap it up. They're going to hold the rock, make sure Kyler Murray can't make those crazy plays because offense is going to be wasting some clock time. I'm saying New England wins a close one at home.
Ooh. This was actually the hardest pick for me this week. Because I don't want to go against Bill Belichick ever, especially after the loss. Especially after how they lost last week to Houston. It's tough. Arizona, they're in 3rd place in their division, and they have 6 wins. You know, that's brutal. They know that they have to win every game. Every game, especially for the Cardinals, is very, very important. I just don't see New England winning. They have the most opt-outs before the season started with COVID. They're down Burkhead now. Damian Harris, you know.
Yeah, Burkhead's a big loss.
Yeah, they're down Michelle. They're down Burkhead. James White hasn't been himself this year. I know he had a good game last week. They finally got him involved. I don't get Belichick why he hasn't been doing that all year. I think James White's going to be the X factor actually this game. That's my big take. James White's going to have a big day. Burkhead's gone, and
there you go. There's your fantasy sleeper, I think.
James White, sleeper, and he's available in like 50% of leagues.
Yeah.
I have him in one of my leagues. I haven't started him all year. I might have to start him. I think he has a big game.
Cam loves one of those running backs, too.
He does. And after last week, he had, 5 catches for
Yeah, a good game.
He had a really good game. But I think Arizona, they need to win. They know they need to win. And after the miracle DeAndre Hopkins Hail Mary, I think it's going to be a special year for them. I'm actually taking the Cardinals to win the division. Because the Seahawks, I don't know, their defense is...
I agree. This was one of the tougher games here. But like I said, I just couldn't fathom saying Belichick losing the Cardinals at home. Especially like you said, after a loss, man. He's a tough coach after a loss. I know it's not the same team. A lot of COVID. Guys bailing out, injuries, so-and-so. Still tough to not take them there. All right, Miami at the Jets. This should be a real simple one. Miami, okay? Brian Flores, Coach of the Year. I really think so. I loved them last year. Great hire by them. The thing that really makes me nervous is the Tua thing, man. All right, Fitzmagic, yes, he almost made that magic, that Nick Foles magic, right? But why don't we let the young quarterback make that move? Why do you make the move in the first place if you're not going to trust him in a big part of the game?
I totally agree.
You know what I mean? That kind of lowers his confidence. And, Tua is a really good team guy. I don't care how big a team guy you are. That affects you, okay? And here's the thing. They've been running the rock, everybody. They're on Ahmed. What's he? Third string running back right now. Had a good game last week. Playing the Jets. I'm going to say he's going to get a score or two. He's on my fantasy team starting this week. I also have really bad running backs, so that's not saying much. But I'm taking Miami. This should be a no-brainer. Jets have been playing people tough, though. I don't think Trevor Lawrence is the guy that's saving them. I think we'll get into this probably later down the road, but I think the Jets don't take Trevor Lawrence. That's a hot take for you right there. But I'm going Miami over the Jets.
Here's the thing. I think they do take Lawrence, and I'll tell you why. Gase is absolutely getting fired. And you're in New York. I know you got, the Giants aren't the greatest team right now, but the Giants are the team in New York. And if they somehow make the playoffs this year, regardless of record, the fact that they made the playoffs, the Jets are going to feel the need, hey, we need to be relevant. They fire Gase. He's got to go. And I think the new regime's going to be like, hey, I don't care. Sam Darnold, who? We're taking Lawrence. We're taking the guy other than Andrew Luck in the past 10 years who's been the best prospect. Back to the game, though. Dolphins, sneaky good offensive line. I mean, they're throwing any running back. They're throwing guys from the freaking Bridgewater College practice squad out there, and they're running the ball. The Jets averaged 269 yards a game. That is by far the worst in the NFL. I love Joe Flacco. I really do. I don't think Darnold plays this week. Flacco, he's lost a step. He has.
Is he elite? Was he elite?
Was he elite? That's a question.
Yeah, we can go on for a while for that. We'll stick to the games.
He made one great throw in Denver in the AFC playoffs, and
he brings that veteran presence right now, though, to the Jets. I think that's why they do get.
He does. I like him, and I like the receivers. Believe it or not, they actually, Perriman, Crowder, also most underrated slot receiver.
Former Redskins / Washington football team. Crowder.
Also Duke. Shout out Duke.
Yeah.
Perriman. Very good. He single-handedly won me my fantasy championship last year when he put.
So are you taking the Jets? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not. That's the thing.
Okay.
The Jets averaged 269 yards. The Dolphins allowed the fourth fewest points in the NFL. Guess what? The Jets give up the second most at 30 points a game. Dolphins by 10. They win the game.
All right. On to the next one. Giants, Cincinnati. All right. I'm going to try to cut it short for you because Brandon could go on day about the Giants. Hey, listen. Cincinnati was staying in games because Joe Burrow. Okay? Joe Burrow's not there. Finley adding to that NC State lineage of starting quarterbacks in the NFL. Guess what, my man? Giants get it done. They're going to take a big step in the division. That hurts me to say. Washington football team, I think their Giants are going in a good way right now. Danny Penny's starting to become Danny Nichols, all right? He ain't Danny Dimes yet. He's working his way up. But yeah, not going to go into depth here. Giants can take care of business.
Giants, 2 straight wins. Huge wins. Danny Dimes, 0 turnovers in those 2 wins. They look good.
Crazy how that works, right?
If he doesn't turn the ball, and I've been saying this, he for 99% of games, he looks really good. The issue is he turns the ball over, and in the red zone, he turns the ball over more than anyone. That's going to kill you. The Giants haven't had a 100-yard rusher all year. Literally all year. Daniel Jones has led the team in rushing, not only for the season, but he's led for the 4 games this year. He had 92 yards versus Philly when the infamous fall game. I don't think he has 100 yards this game, but I think the Giants have a 100-yard rusher. Wayne Gallman, beast. He's been playing phenomenal. Cincinnati, it stinks. Joe Burrow's great. I want him to be healthy. I would have loved to see Daniel Jones versus Joe Burrow, but he's out for the year. I don't see Ryan Finley putting up a fight. versus a sneaky good Giants defense. Blake Martinez, great signing. James Bradbury, top 3 corner in the league. Got to give Dave Gettleman credit. He's a bum, but he hit on those. I think the Giants win, and I think they cover, and I think they win big, actually.
Yeah, I don't think that's it if. I think it's just going to be a win. All right, so the big thing here, Tennessee and Indianapolis, all right? If I'm a betting man, I'm staying away from this game. 2 teams that are good, but you don't really know what you're getting week in, week out, okay? Fantasy owners, you know the frustration with Derrick Henry because he can score a lot, but then he gives you that dud of a game where he goes 30 carries for 100 yards, no touchdowns. That ain't helping you in fantasy, okay? But here's the thing. We're not just talking fantasy, we're talking football. The Colts, right? I don't get their quarterback situation. No. Brissett's coming in. Yeah. Rivers is in. Make a decision, man. Listen, you can do the 2 quarterback system in high school. Yeah. All right, we're not in high school. This is the NFL. All right, colleges barely do it.
I get it.
Right?
Brissett was coming in on 4th and 1.
Yeah. Come on. What are we doing here? But Tennessee, man, I don't know what Tennessee is going to show up. And 2, I think playing inside plays advantage of Indianapolis. That's the thing. I think Tennessee is one of those tough, cold weather teams. But if Ryan Tannehill starts passing that rock, okay, they can get Derrick Henry running the ball effectively. They are a great play-action team. I'm not going to say they're the best play-action team because obviously the Rams are a big play-action team. But I think if they get Henry going early, okay, and can use that play-action later, I think the Colts can't hang with them, and I think Tennessee wins. Though, the Colts did a great job against Green Bay, but guess what? It's kind of easy when you know Green Bay, when the going gets tough, is just leaning on Aaron Rodgers. All right, it's a little easy to stop that. Obviously, I'm not going to say it's easy, but we're not worried about the run as much, which was very ineffective last week. I want to see what Tennessee can do in the run game against them. So I'm going Tennessee.
I'm going Tennessee. I think Derrick Henry is great. Not just good, he's great. From a fantasy perspective, he might not be the best, but we're talking NFL.
Yeah. He's good.
Screw fantasy. Like, from a running back perspective, I mean, he's phenomenal. Tennessee, I like their team. I like Johnny Smith at tight end. I love A.J. Brown, and shout out Corey Davis, who's actually playing like he's a first-round pick this year. Very good. I like Tennessee's defense. I like Tennessee in general. I think they're scrappy. I think they're going to be good in the playoffs. I mean, we saw them last year. They beat the Ravens. They beat that Ravens team last year. They beat them last week. The Colts are a weird team to me. They've had a lot of injuries. Marlon Mack, I know, but what's up with the running back thing? Jordan Wilkins is, I mean, shoot, he's getting more carries than Jonathan Taylor almost. It's like, what are they doing? Their wideouts, I'm not a big fan of. Rivers, you know, I don't know. They love their NC State quarterbacks. I hate NC State. With that being said, Tennessee wins the game.
All right, Cleveland, Jacksonville again. I don't think we're spending too much time on this. Jacksonville's in a tough spot right now. Don't have a quarterback. Even though I love my man Minshew, even when he comes back, he's probably not going to be the guy, okay? Real simple. I don't think I need to explain. Cleveland, guess what? When you think about throwing the ball, don't hand it off to those running backs. Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb been running that rock, pound the rock. It's been working well. It helps out Baker Mayfield when they're run heavy because, again, they get that play-action game, get him some easy passes. They got good receivers there, good tight ends there, and Hooper. Okay, listen, they're going to run the rock on them. It ain't going to be close, okay? And they're going to get some warm weather down in Jacksonville. So I'm going Cleveland.
Browns are sneaky good, like playoff sneaky good. And it's weird to say it, they're good. Baker, when you run the ball, it proves that you can win games, and it limits the mistakes that Baker Mayfield can make because he can be a little, radical with his throws. And, if you run the ball, you have the best running backs in the league. You have the best offensive line statistically. Just run the ball. Jacksonville, they stink. Lutton threw 4 interceptions last week. If he plays, they have no shot in hell. Cleveland.
All right. Carolina at Minnesota. I think this is a tough game, all right? I think there's 2 scrappy teams. Hey, guess what? Minnesota might have 2 of the best receivers in the league with Thielen and Justin Jefferson. All right, obviously there's some good receivers in the league that aren't getting all those stats, but guess what? Those two are really good. Okay, my man Kirk, former Redskin Washington football team player, is not a big game guy, but they are at home. I love what Joe Brady's doing down there with that offense, Carolina. Guess what? They don't have a lot right now on offense, and he's getting it done. Matt Rule, great coach, former Temple, Baylor.
Temple.
All right, listen, he's a great coach. He's rallying this team. I can't wait to see what happens next year when you get a full year of McCaffrey. Maybe they get a quarterback in there. I love some Teddy Bridgewater, always had back to Louisville. All right, he was the reason I wore the baggy long sleeves before it came in high school. At quarterback, love some Teddy Bridgewater, but I think Minnesota's going to score. Dalvin Cook. Guess what? That's a great safety blanket for Kirk Cousins, a good running back. I think Minnesota gets it done at home, but this is a tough pick too. Okay, I like Carolina, scrappy team. I think Minnesota has too many weapons though.
Dalvin Cook and Derrick Henry are the best running backs, and Alvin Kamara, I'm sorry. Those are the top 3 running backs this year. The Panthers allowed Ronald Jones 2 weeks ago to run for 192 yards. What do you think Dalvin Cook's going to do? He's got 5+ games of over 100 yards rushing. He's been dominant. He's only played 9 games, and he has over 1,000 yards rushing already. I mean, he's been phenomenal. The Vikings, like I said, best 4-win team ever. I mean, Jefferson, Thielen, Cook, holy crap, that's as good as it gets. Thielen might be out. Doesn't matter. I have the Vikings.
All right, next game, Raiders at the Falcons, okay? Now, this is kind of a tough game for me to pick, but here's the thing. Raiders played a hell of a game against the Chiefs, right? And obviously, they got them earlier in the year. But they played one of their best games. Derek Carr looked great, and they still couldn't get it done, all right? I think that Atlanta, obviously they have the talent, haven't done what they needed to do this year. Julio, do you know if Julio is playing? I know he got hurt last week. Not sure.
He's questionable every single week.
But,
so is Ridley.
But I do think Atlanta at home is going to get it done. I think the Raiders are going to be so caught up in last week's game that they're going to sleep on Atlanta. I think Atlanta's going to pull the upset here. And here's the thing. Derek Carr played a great game. What's up with that last play? I get you had to throw the ball. There was still 30 seconds left. I understand the situation. You got to go make a play. The worst part is I think if he leads them, I think the guy comes down with it and makes a play. That's what I'm saying. Is he a big-time guy? I don't know. I do like Derek Carr, even though he looks like he'd be the dream boyfriend for Avril Lavigne with those dark eyes. I'm staying Atlanta with the upset. Again, I just think they get it done. I think the Raiders are going to be so hung up on that loss last week that they're going to drop the ball again here. Okay.
I think Atlanta's going to be hung up on their loss versus Taysom Hill, a tight end and quarterback. I mean, they look horrendous. Their offense stunk. Matt Ryan threw 2 picks.
But the Saints are possibly a Super Bowl contender, so it's not like they lost to some bums. I don't care if
Taysom Hill had 400. What do you have? 200 yards passing in the NFL
Yeah,
into this week.
You could give a lot of these quarterbacks in the league.
Atlanta.
Alvin Kamara, Mike Thomas.
Alvin Kamara didn't have a catch last week. It was the only game in his career he's
So
never
what?
had a
You
catch.
have all these weapons. He doesn't need to. Guess what? There's a ton of guys out
I
there.
just don't think Atlanta.
And they have a great defense. That's why they're a Super Bowl
You
contender.
can be Marty Mush, Barstool Sports. He loves picking Atlanta. I'm not falling for it. Atlanta looks like one of the best teams, but they never win. They never win. The Raiders look good this year. They actually look good. Derek Carr, I mean, that first half, I don't think he could have played any better. I really don't.
Yep.
Nelson Aguilar, who? I mean, he's actually he's not dropping babies in Las Vegas. I have Oakland. I have them coming east. It doesn't matter the time change. I don't care if it's an early game. Las Vegas wins.
I don't think that's a horrible pick. I just really do think they're going to be so hung up on that last game. All right, that's why they're going to lose. Next game, New Orleans at Denver again. Not spend a lot of time on this. Guess what? When bad weather, Brandon, snow, whatever it may be in Denver, guess what's effective against that? Running the ball. Well, guess what? They don't only have Alvin Kamara running that ball. They're going to have Taysom Hill running the ball. When in doubt, run the ball. They can do that now, okay, with multiple weapons. But guess what? Slant God, Mr. Michael Thomas, again, windy day.
He's good.
It don't matter. Pro quarterbacks can hit a slant all day, everybody. And guess what? He can take that slant to the crib. Denver, disappointing. Drew Lock, guess what? He's got some swag on the sidelines. Unfortunately, that does not win you games. Noah Fant, please get me some fantasy points this week. I'm going New Orleans. Again, not spending any time on that. That's an easy pick.
I mean, I really don't even need to talk about this game. Denver has no shot in hell. I don't care where they're playing. I don't care if it's a snow game. Denver has no shot. Drew Lock is not the guy. John Elway might be the worst GM for quarterbacks.
Hopefully,
I mean,
Andrew Luck back
you'd
or
think
something.
a guy who's a Hall of Fame quarterback could, know how good a guy's going to be. Drew Lock, not it. Trevor Siemian, not it. Osweiler, not it. Elway, I think he needs to go. New Orleans.
All right. San Francisco at the Rams. Okay, I loved what the Rams did to Tampa Bay the other day. But they're not consistent. They haven't been consistent all year. Okay? Now, I do love the offense. I love all the play actions, all this. He doesn't care. McVay does not care who's in the backfield. He's going to run that rock with them as well. Woods looked great. I wish you were more consistent for my fantasy team. All right? A little bit earlier, at least, for me. But, hey, I think the Rams have a lot of weapons. But San Francisco's looked really good lately, okay? Their defense, obviously good. Guess what also they do? Run the ball, okay? Again, another play-action team. I like these teams because I think they're very similar. But I do think the Rams have letdowns. They've had letdowns throughout the season, right? That's why everybody earlier was saying Super Bowl through 3 weeks. Then they're saying this team has no identity. Now they're winning big games again. I think that goes into they dropped the ball this week. I'm going to take San Francisco. Again, this is a tough one. If I'm betting, I don't know if I'm taking this game. But again, I think San Francisco gets it done. Not a far trip for them. They can sleep in their own beds at night.
You must have taken a look off my paper because the 49ers are 7-point underdogs. I'm not only taking that, I'm taking the 49ers to win the game straight up. The Rams are the weirdest team in the NFL. I can't tell if they're good or bad. I really can't. Some weeks they look good, some weeks they look horrendous. They barely beat the Giants when the Giants were stinking. They put up, 17 points on the Giants at that point. A week after the Giants gave up 35 to the 49ers backup quarterback, who, guess what?
It's a good system over there, Shanahan. Don't matter.
Great system. 49ers, only losing team with a plus point differential.
Yeah.
They have a good defense.
They do.
As bad as their offense is,
They
and
do.
as bad as they can't score, whatever, their defense doesn't get. They were in the Super Bowl last year.
Yep. They got a good young coach who's been in the Super Bowl. Guess what? More than once, obviously. Big letdowns.
I got the 49ers winning the game.
Yeah.
My boy Raheem Mostert, criminally underrated. Criminally underrated. He's coming back off IR. They need him back. I got the 49ers.
Yeah, and I think that provides that spark for them as well. All right, getting down here at the end of the board. All right, high budget board here. Okay. Kansas City at Tampa Bay. I don't think there should be a conversation.
Not at all.
Don't think it should be a conversation. Listen, man. Tom Brady, one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. But he ain't in New England. He's in Tampa Bay. Different culture there, right? Different culture. We talk about Bill Belichick. It's hard to root against him or pick against him anytime. I can't say the same in Tampa, all right? Kansas City's too many weapons, all right? Sammy Watkins, who you can make an argument, very effective receiver in the NFL, okay? Is he what he was in college? No, still a really good receiver. Hey, Brandon, guess what? I think he barely played this year at all. It doesn't matter. It doesn't
Byron
matter.
Pringle.
Hey, and
Pringle's
guess what?
can is catching balls for Patrick Mahomes.
And guess what?
It doesn't matter.
Kansas City defense, not going to say they're the best, right? But when they need to make a play, I feel like they make that play. Pretty easy to always have that confidence when you know your offense can put up points, all right? Patrick Mahomes, guess what? Going to kill it once again. Going to help put me in the playoffs for fantasy over Brandon this week. But again, I don't think this is a question. Kansas City, move to the next game.
Not a question. I'm never going against Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes. As long as they're healthy, I'm never going against the Chiefs. I think they're that good. For some reason, Vegas doesn't. It is a 3.5 point. They're only 3.5 point favorites versus the Bucks. The Bucks, they're good, obviously, but the Chiefs are on a whole nother level. Side note, defensive coordinator for the Chiefs, Steve Spagnuolo. Guess what he was? The defensive coordinator for the Giants in their Super Bowl runs. He knows Tom Brady more than any other defensive coordinator. He knows how to disguise blitzes. You have to get pressure on Brady. Chiefs, what do they have? They have really good pass rushers. Their secondary is not very good, but it doesn't matter if you get to the
causes
Tom
picks
Brady.
when you're getting disrupting the quarterback.
I trust Spagnuolo versus Tom Brady. I mean, he's proven it. Let's be honest. Kansas City wins. Their offense is phenomenal. They're really good.
Chicago, Green Bay again, another one. Green Bay, tough loss against Indianapolis. I don't think they lose 2 in a row. I still don't know LaFleur and Rodgers. Are they getting along? I mean, what's going on? But it doesn't really matter. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to let them lose 2 in a row. I think Green Bay's a good team. They have good defense. Chicago can't score. I don't care how good their defense is. All right? I'd say they might as well put a cardboard cutout at quarterback. Hey, Nick Foles is the best quarterback ever in Philly. I love saying that to those Philly people out there.
Chicago.
But guess what? Yes, guess why that team was good? They won the Super Bowl, everybody. Hey, Nick Foles, cool. You're good. Guess what? You played on a great team that year. You played on the hot team. I wish you could do the same in Chicago because my boy, Big Cat over there, Barstool, it is funny to watch you in some pain. I'm sorry. But I'm taking Green Bay. Again, even if it's a low-scoring game, guess what? Chicago probably going to be kicking field goals, and that's about it.
Chicago stinks. They lost 4 in a row. I'm not going to really even talk about this game. The Packers win. They win big. I mean, Aaron Rodgers. I don't care how great your defense is. Aaron Rodgers. That's the pick.
All right, and then the last game, Seattle at Philly. Now listen. This game, for me, is tough. Because I don't think Seattle's defense is good. Russell Wilson, obviously good, has struggled past couple games. Has really struggled.
Interceptions.
And man, again, I'm a Washington football fan. I love all other Philly sports. So I am co-fans with a lot of those Eagles fans, the Sixers, Phillies, that type of stuff. I know the link is closed down. I know this game usually would be packed out. But I think, and as much as I love Angelo and those boys on the Philly radio just crushing the Eagles. I love it. I think Philly gets it done, all right? Now, am I saying that with a lot of confidence? No, I'm not saying that with any confidence at all. But, again, something about Philly in late season games when they got to get it done. As of recently, they get it done. Wentz. A lot of criticism here. People want Hurts. Guess what? He was the starting quarterback for Alabama last year, right? Was he second overall pick?
Second round pick.
No, Tua.
Oh, no, Tua.
He was the second overall pick. Fifth
Fifth
overall pick, all right?
Miami.
Listen, he was the 5th overall pick. Guess what? What happened last week to Tua?
He got benched.
Hey, guess who was Tua's backup? Jalen Hurts. Y'all really calling for Jalen Hurts? I think Wentz has played bad, but I really don't think he's that bad. I think he's a product of what's been around him. They got an ODU signed free agent as their best receiver right now. He's not working with a lot. Again, I hate defending the Eagles, but this feels like one of those late wins in their season. All right, so I am going to take the Eagles. Again, I'm not confident with that pick, but I think they get it done.
I love Philly. I love everything about Philly except their sports. I love Angelo's. Shout out.
Angelo's pizza and cheesesteak.
I've never had the cheesesteak, but I will say the pizza. Nick and I both had it on the street.
Both love Philly. Hate the Eagles.
Probably the best pizza I've ever had, and I've had big time Manhattan pizza. I'm taking Angelo's pizza, and I'm taking Delisandro's cheesesteaks. Best cheesesteak ever.
We ain't talking food. We're talking football.
Let me talk here. I love Philly except their sports. I do not love Philly this week, and I hate the Eagles overall. The Seahawks, after losing to the Rams last week, I don't see them losing. Philadelphia, what are you doing? We talk about Brissett and Rivers. Why the hell, every time Jalen Hurts goes in the game, the whole stadium knows they're running the ball. It's so obvious.
Not a
They've
lot of
been
people in that
so
stadium.
ineffective with Jalen Hurts. Why? First of all, he's a quarterback. Why can't you let him throw the ball? Doug Peterson, I question Doug Peterson a lot. He's Riverboat Ron, you say? Man, Doug Peterson goes for it on fourth more than anyone. He goes for 2 all the time when you don't need to go for 2. He won the Super Bowl, whatever. Give the guy credit for that, but I don't think he's a good coach. I think he just had a good team that got lucky. I don't think Philly's good. I think the Seahawks win, and I think they win big. I really don't think it's close.
Like I said, I'm not confident with the pick, but it just feels like one of those games where they get it done. All right? And that is it for our Thursday. Thanksgiving week NFL picks. All right, next on the docket, obviously college football. We could talk here for hours, all right? But what we're going to try to do is pick 2 locks and an upset for college football. Obviously, college football playoff came out Tuesday night. We're not going to get into depth with that really because there's some other things we want to get to today. But at least for me, I'll give one of my locks. You give a lock.
We're doing the spread right because I did it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to take Northwestern over Michigan State. All right. Love what Pat Fitzgerald's doing there. I believe it's a 14-point spread there. Again, Michigan State's been brutal. They did beat Michigan, though. So, Michigan sucks, though. Northwestern, love what they're doing. Yeah, I think that's going to be a lock right there. No doubt, Big Ten football.
All right. My first lock, I think this is the biggest lock of the year. Notre Dame. They're 5-point favorites over UNC. UNC gave up 53 points to Wake Forest last week. Wake Forest, everyone. UNC, come on. Why are they ranked 19th? They stink. Their defense is horrendous. Notre Dame is going to stomp them. Notre Dame not only wins by 5, they win by 13 plus. I lock Notre Dame in. Come on.
It is a good lock. I just didn't want to pick a lock like that because it's just so easy. Obviously, I wanted to go a little different. Northwestern, though, is top 10 in the country. My next one is Cincinnati over Temple, but I think Temple covers. Now, this is the ESPN app. You suck. You give really bad lines because I go to Dover Downs. Guess what? It's not the same. But from what I saw, I couldn't get in Dover Downs today, too early. I'm thinking Temple, if the line really is 36, I understand Temple's been blown out. Okay, I get it. 36, though. Oh, my gosh. That is a big spread. I think Temple covers. I think, hey, they might lose by 35. 36 is a lot. My man, Jordan McGee, starting on that Temple defense, got his first pick last week. 45-yard return. Looks like he done something with the ball before, young fella. I do think Temple covers, but Cincinnati will win.
Okay. Coastal Carolina versus Texas State. Coastal Carolina 17-point favorite. I think they blow Texas State out. Texas State is 2-9. Listen to the last 5 games Texas State has played. Look at how many points they've given up. 45, 40, 38, 44, 52 last week. Coastal Carolina, this is their year. They're going to blow them out. 17, get out of here. Blowout.
All right, my upset, I'm just going to go money line. I think the spread is 11 for this game. I'm not sure. Again, ESPN app, you suck. I'm sorry. Got to get better with that. I wish I could help you. I can't. I have no idea about that stuff. But Oklahoma is overrated, everybody. Overrated. I'm a dummy. I called Kansas State beating them at the beginning of the year. I should have put all the money in my bank account on it. I knew it. And my dumbass took Oklahoma. Well, guess what? I have that same feeling this week. West Virginia is going to get it done. Okay?
Shout out Lenny Brown.
Great skill guys. And Oklahoma overrated. They're going to choke. Lincoln Riley, I love your offense, but you're not getting it done. West Virginia over Oklahoma.
I'm going to have a wild Thornberry's take right here. But it's okay because you got to have some of those. Auburn, Alabama. Listen, I'm not saying Auburn's going to win the game. But right now, Auburn is a 24.5-point underdog.
Yeah, rivalry game.
It's a rivalry game.
Good take there.
Dover High versus Caesarani last week. Dover High is 0-3, Caesarani 4-0. Guess who won the game? Dover. Rivalry games, you throw records out of the window. Alabama, I'm still not a Mac Jones guy. I think Auburn plays very close. I think this is a close game. I think Smoke Monday has a big game defensively.
Great name. All-timer.
I think Auburn loses in a very close one, but they absolutely cover
Something
the
as crazy
24
as
and a half
the,
spread.
Something as crazy as the kick return there.
I'm hoping, because that was, honestly, that
Great
might
game.
have been the greatest college football game I've ever
Awesome.
watched.
And great call there. But yeah, I agree. I think Auburn has a chance to 100% cover, but I think they can win.
They can, yeah. It's a rivalry game.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, like, I don't get why that, I don't know what Vegas thinks. I don't know. I would put a lot of money on that. I think Auburn, I mean, yeah, they're not as great as they usually are, but it's a rivalry game.
Yeah.
They're going to show up.
Anything can happen there.
All right. So our all-time team from 2000 to present day, and the list is for who you think will win games. We're not saying who's the best ever, or this is the best team to win games.
Yeah, we're not, again, like you said, we're not going best player at this position ever. We're saying to win a game. Now, you could argue that both our picks, most of the guys are going to be on some decade teams or are already on decade teams. But this is saying we got a coach, we got a system, we think this team will win. We're not going to do the whole team today, just head coach and offense, because, again, we could be here all day talking about defense, special teams. I'm really excited for this 2000 to 2020 defense. I know people say it's a different type of defense. Guess what? In this era, man, there's been a hell of a lot of good defensive players, all-timers, so that's going to be fun. But today, head coach, offense players, Brandon, kick it off.
I got a little bit of foreshadowing here. I'm going Andy Reid. I think his system in today's age is phenomenal. Foreshadowing being who you think my quarterback's going to be, and we'll learn that in a little bit. But Andy Reid, he's my coach. Obviously, Bill Belichick, Andy Reid, you know, you can't really lose with either one of them. Andy Reid, actually, I saw this on the game on Sunday night. Andy Reid has the best win percentage on the road of any head coach.
I was going to say, he's got to be one of the top wins of 2020 as well. Obviously not the top, but it has to be top 5.
If you watch his games, the play calling is phenomenal. I think Bill Belichick's the best defensive coach, I will say.
The guy's not in Philly anymore.
But I think Andy Reid's, I mean, it's phenomenal. It's like chess. I mean, he just all the motions, and yes, he has great players, but he knows what to do with those great players, which, by the way, this is an all-time team. Great players. Andy Reid, he's my pick.
All right, mine's going to be Bill Belichick. Nothing exciting. Okay, man gets it done. Listen, he loves guys that aren't the high profile. But then when he gets a high profile guy, he does pretty good with them, okay? So, hey, I'm going to give him a team of high profile guys. Guess what? If I give him that, he's going to get it done.
All right, on a quarterback foreshadowing. Listen, I'm the biggest Pat Mahomes fan in the room. I'm taking him as my quarterback. Dude is 25. He's younger than Nick by a week, I think. He's younger than you.
I'll still do a throw off with him.
25. He's got a Super Bowl MVP. He's got a regular MVP. He threw 50 touchdowns.
Probably going to be MVP this year.
He's going to win. He's got the best QBR in the league.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers and Mahomes are the two best. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, he's amazing. He threw his second pick. He has 0 picks versus the rest of the NFL. Las Vegas, 2. I'll tell you what, John Gruden does know how to play him well. Doesn't matter. I'm picking Mahomes. He's a beast. I think at the end of his career, I really do. I think he's going to be the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
I think he is most accomplished, greatest. He's a beast. Come on now.
All right. Well, Andy Reid's a good pick. Patrick Mahomes, good pick. You know what they're trying to be? They're trying to be Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. Hey, it's just like butter and toast, baby. They go together. Awesome. Listen, Tom Brady and Bill Belichick together. 6 rings. Patrick Mahomes is trying to be like Tom Brady. Now, can he be better? Yes, but guess what? 1 ring. Guess what? Andy Reid, 1 ring. These two together are one of the best player-coach combos ever. Ever. Tom Brady. Listen, 3 MVPs. 4 Super Bowl MVPs.
I know his stats.
Hey, listen, not only is he on the 2000s All-Decade team, he's on the 2010s All-Decade team. Who knows, he might have another 3 to 4 years to qualify for the 2020 Decade team. Tom Brady, in the year 2000 to 2020, is the best quarterback. Hey, guess what, everybody? He might be the best quarterback ever. Now, again, I do think Patrick Mahomes has ability. But guess what? We're talking 2000 to 2020.
Oh, yeah.
That's the MVP of the whole era, Tom Brady. Tom Brady's my pick. Easy.
It's hard to go against Tom Brady. I mean, come on.
It is.
I mean, we all can admit he has 6 Super Bowl rings.
Yes.
I mean,
He's a winner.
come on now. I don't care if he doesn't have the strongest arm or he's the most accurate. I mean, he's very accurate, but, I'm not going to argue that pick. All right, on to running back 1. Again, there's so many great running backs out there, but we're going prime, and we're going in my system. I have Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. I am going to go, hear me out, I'm going Christian McCaffrey in his prime. Come on now. McCaffrey. Look at this. I'll throw some statistics out.
So you're going off last year only because that was his best year. So you would take
Well,
last
no,
year's
not
Christian
necessarily.
McCaffrey.
Not necessarily. He had back-to-back 1,000 yards. I mean, he averaged 5.2 yards a carry in 2018. People sleep on that. He weighed 205 pounds. He went between the tackles. He averaged 5.2 yards a carry. I mean, that's almost Jamal Charles territory. Phenomenal guy. But also, Jamal Charles, I thought he's really good, underrated. I don't care what anyone says. I'm a big Jamal Charles guy. But McCaffrey, 2019. Let me read these stats. Let me go to the notebook. 287 carries. 1,387 yards. He averaged 4.8 yards a carry. Anything over 4 is great. He had 15 rushing touchdowns. He's 205 pounds. That's impressive. 116 receptions. He's a running back. 1,005 yards. He had 1,000 season. He had 19 total touchdowns. I mean, come on now. Him with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. I mean, come on now. McCaffrey might be the quickest dude I've ever seen. He's tough to
Some
stop.
of these takes. All right, who's your next running back?
All right, we're doing both running
Yeah,
backs.
do both.
This one,
So we're allowed 2 running backs too.
I mean, the dude's an animal. LaDainian Tomlinson. I mean, come on now. Look at his 2006 statistics. 348 carries. He had almost 350 carries. He ran for over 1,800 yards, and he's got the all-time record in touchdowns in a year. 28. He had 28 rushing touchdowns. Dude averaged 5.2 yards a carry for 1,800 yards and 28 touchdowns. And not only that, he had 508 receiving yards and 56 receptions. I mean, he had 2,300 all-purpose yards. The dude is a beast. He is 3rd all-time in touchdowns scored. 3rd all-time. He had 162 in his career. Guess what? He only played 11 seasons, and 2 of those were with the Jets. When he stunk, not him, but the Jets stink. The Jets are horrendous. In his 9 seasons with the Chargers, he basically had almost 162 touchdowns. That's unbelievable. The 2 guys ahead of him, Jerry Rice and Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Smith played for 15 seasons. Jerry Rice played for 21. LaDainian Tomlinson did it basically in 9 years. He's a beast.
I have to agree with you. So if I had to go running backs here, I also go LaDainian Tomlinson. All right, I'll knock it out since he just kind of covered it. Obviously, 1 MVP, 145 rushing touchdowns, 17 receiving touchdowns. Hey, guess what? He also had 7 passing touchdowns.
Really?
Okay, he was 8 for 12 passing his career. So 7 of his 8 completions were touchdowns. Hey, Booby Miles, guess what? This is the all-around athlete right here. Okay, Texas guy as well. David Thompson, guess what? He was good then. guess what? He'd be even
Yeah.
better
God.
right now.
Holy shit.
He'd be
so
even
good.
better right now in all these offenses that are doing all these different things with those versatile running backs. He'd be even better right now. And guess what? He is one of the best ever.
Oh, yeah.
Hall of Famer and all. Next, man. And again, who you would have starting, I think, would depend on the team you're playing. Adrian Peterson, everybody, is one of the best running backs ever. The man came off ACL surgery and was one of the best in the league. Before that, was one of the best in the league. Oklahoma was dominant. Everybody, he has 113 rushing touchdowns, okay? The man is a workhorse. When the going gets tough, hand it to AP, okay? Hey, guess what? With Washington 2 years ago, he was a 1,000-yard rusher. 1,000-yard rusher. Everybody thought he was washed. It was the third team he was with within the year. And guess what? He was a 1,000-yard rusher on a bad Redskins team. Adrian Peterson is one of the best ever, let alone 2020. And guess what? Tom Brady's not going to be sitting back here doing a lot of crazy things. He's trying to get the ball out quick, get under center, hand that ball off. He loves throwing to a back. LT, thank you. Hey, he's going to get under center, and we're going to pound that rock. Belichick likes controlling the ball. I think AP would be a perfect back for him.
I mean, I think AP's phenomenal, and I think in that system, he excels because Brady,
And that's
Belichick,
why I
they love that.
Yep, holding the ball.
See, listen, do I think Peterson's better than McCaffrey? Yeah, absolutely. But my system, I don't want, I want Mahomes in shotgun. I want that little scat. I think McCaffrey fits my system. Obviously, that system he's got there, that's a great pick. Wideouts, do all of them?
Yep.
Okay. My first one, Calvin Johnson. The guy has the all-time record in receiving yards for a year. I mean, that year he was getting triple covered, and he still had 1,964 receiving yards and 122 receptions on a bad Lions team. I mean, Matt Stafford underrated, but come on now, Calvin Johnson.
It's easy when you can throw it up to
Calvin Johnson's one of the greatest
Yeah.
of all time. 2011, the year before that all-time record, 96 receptions, 1,681 yards, and 16 touchdowns. He's a physical specimen. He's phenomenal. He's my wideout one. Wideout two, he's one of my wideouts. I'm not saying he's my wideout one. Wideout two, this goes without saying. Randy Moss. Come on now. Randy Moss. When you catch a ball over someone, you yell, you got Moss. The dude, come on now. Phenomenal. In 10 years, from 2000 to 2010, he had 777 receptions for 11,739 yards and 120 touchdowns in 10 seasons. Come on now. You watch him, he's a beast. He's a freaking beast. Randy Moss, Calvin Johnson, good luck. And guess who my third is? Julio Jones. Julio Jones runs a 4.39. He is 6'3", 220 of straight muscle. You think you're stopping Julio, Randy Moss, and Calvin Johnson? Because guess what? You're not. They're all huge. Julio's already 12th all-time in receiving yards. He's 31. He just turned 31.
Beast.
Jerry Rice played forever.
Sucks he's been hurt.
He's hurt, yes. But I think Julio is going to be top 5 all time in receiving.
Yeah,
he's freaking. It's Julio Jones. We talked DeAndre Hopkins. I still think Julio is the best receiver.
When he's healthy, man, there ain't nobody stopping.
So my 3, we're doing do you want me to do the flex too?
I think let's wait on the flex.
Okay, so those are my 3: Calvin Johnson, Julio Jones, Randy Moss.
All right, and I thought this might happen because, best receivers arguably ever, right? I also went Calvin Johnson. Now listen to this, everybody. Calvin Johnson, 6'5", 235.
Holy shit.
That man ran a 4.3, 540. What? Again, like he said, there's that famous picture of him against the Saints, double coverage. Talk about respect. Come on, and guess what? I guarantee the safety was shading over top of that as well. Okay? Calvin Johnson, 6-time Pro Bowler. When you get the nickname Megatron, you're pretty damn good. Okay? Next, Randy Moss again. Guess what? So we got 6'5", 235. Oh, guess what? Randy Moss, 6'4", 210. Now this is unofficial, 4.2540. So again, everybody loves the scat back, right? Everybody loves that little quick slot guy. Hey, screw the little slot guy. I got two ginormous giants outside that are also just as fast as that little scat back.
Yep.
Go ahead. Hey, safety. Where are you shading? Okay. And then my next one. Now, this one was really tough, right? Because, again, I wanted that scat back. And these type of offenses, Tom Brady loves those little scat backs. You know why he has to go those little scat backs? Because they got nobody else. I don't care how good Wes Welker is or Edelman. Listen, guess what? Give me Larry Fitzgerald when the going gets tough. All right? Listen, little fun story for you. Larry Fitzgerald was the ball boy for the Vikings. Probably a lot of people know that, okay, when he was in high school. Randy Moss let Larry Fitzgerald borrow his car for prom.
No way.
Yes, for prom while he was the ball boy. Now we have some chemistry on the team. Hey, another stat I forgot to say about Randy Moss. You know the most touchdowns he had in the season? It was 23.
21. Oh, shit.
Do you know who his quarterback was?
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady. Oh, they won 16-0, and they lost in one of the better Super Bowls of all time to the Brandon Giants here on a crazy, crazy play. Okay, guess what? That happens. They still won 16-0, everybody. So I'm going to take Randy Moss, Tom Brady, Bill Belichick together. And again, Larry Fitzgerald has that connection with Randy Moss. 11-time Pro Bowler Larry Fitzgerald. Oh, guess what? He will be suiting up and playing on Sunday still. Okay? Again, he has 5 100 reception years. 5. Yeah. And guess what? His first one and his last one were 12 years apart.
That's impressive.
12 years apart. He's still going strong. Again, Larry Fitzgerald when the going gets tough. And he might arguably be one of the best playoff receivers. If they win that Super Bowl against the Steelers, the Cardinals, all we're going to talk about is how Larry Fitzgerald might have the best postseason performance ever. Yeah. Especially he took that slant to the crib against them as well. And that play against Green Bay that one year where he took that 75-yard catch and run. So those are my 3. Again, Tom Brady loves these little short dudes and these crazy stories. Give him some dogs and he's going to eat.
I'm going to do the flex next, and then we can do offensive lineman.
Well, how about we go tight end and then flex?
Oh, yeah, tight end. Okay, I forgot about that. All right, so tight ends, you have Jason Witten, Tony Gonzalez, great guys. Nothing against them. Nothing at all against them. But I think at the end of his career, I think this guy's going to be up there. And remember, I have Pat Mahomes. I have Andy Reid. Look at my receivers. Look how big they are. I'm going big boy football, but I'm going fast big boy football. I'm taking Travis Kelce, the dude, beast. 6'5", 255, runs a 4.6. That's pretty fast. I don't think people realize how fast a 4.6 is. To be 255 pounds at 6'5" and run a 4.6. I mean, I'm 5'10", give or take an inch. 168. I don't know if I could break 5. I mean, these guys are phenomenal athletes. Travis Kelce, look at these stats. I'll give you 5 years worth of stats here. And this is not with Patrick Mahomes the first 2 years. 85 receptions, 1,125 yards, 4 TDs. 83 receptions, 1,038 yards, 8 TDs. This is with Pat Mahomes now, who also is my quarterback, and Andy Reid, by the way. 103 receptions for 1,336 yards and 10 touchdowns. 97 receptions for 1,226 yards, 5 touchdowns. And this year, through 10 games, 66 receptions already, 896 yards. By the way, he's 3rd in receiving in the NFL. He's a tight end. And 7 touchdowns. That's through 10 games. Travis Kelce, beast. I love his personality. I think he's phenomenal. He's my tight end.
All right, and I am going to go Tony Gonzalez. All right? Again, listen, if you want to talk about a guy that transformed the position to what these guys are now, it's Tony Gonzalez. He is the OG, as the kids say, okay? Now listen, 14-time Pro Bowler. Oh, guess what? He was a Pro Bowler at 36 years old, still getting it done with the Falcons.
Pretty impressive.
He was a 14-time Pro Bowler. 14-time. Okay? This dude's going to go up and get it. Hey, guess what else he's going to do? He's going to block. Patriots, Bill Belichick loves doing those tight end stuff, blocking. Okay? Again, just the 102 receptions in 2004 by a tight end. 102 receptions in 2004. Where the ball's still not thrown as much. That's really good, everybody. He was their number one receiver those early years in Kansas City. And then again, still getting it done with Atlanta. Obviously, everybody knows that basketball background. I'm going to take Tony Gonzalez. Still remember out in our open field here playing flag football with Brandon. Wearing that Tony Gonzalez.
Always rock the jersey.
Always wear that Tony Gonzalez jersey. Love him. He is the GOAT. There's going to be awards named after him pretty soon, I'm going to say.
Yeah. All right, I'll go on to the flex. Now, you see my three wideouts, Calvin Johnson, Randy Moss, Julio Jones. I'm going to go more. I'm not saying those guys are fast. They're lightning fast, but they might not be the quickest. Quick. Remember, I want quick guys. I think pre-injury, like prime, what we saw from Odell Beckham in his prime, I know he's gotten injured. The past 3 years have not been great for him, but I think look at these numbers. 91 yards. This is his first 3 years in the league, his age 22 to 24 season, when he was in a good system. Eli Manning, as much of hate that he gets, he was pretty good, especially these years. They were good. 91 receptions, 1,305 yards, 12 touchdowns. Rookie season. That's in 12 games, everyone. He missed the first 4 games. I mean, come on now. 96 receptions, 1,450 yards, 13 touchdowns, 101 receptions, 1,367 yards, 10 touchdowns. I mean, that's as good as it gets for someone's first 3 years in the league. And I think when healthy, he's capable of doing that. In the right system, he's capable. My system, I mean, come on. When you have Calvin Johnson, Julio Jones, and Randy Moss, let's say I want to go 4 wide. I mean, to throw Odell, Calvin Johnson, Randy Moss, Julio Jones, I don't care who the hell your cornerbacks are. You're not stopping that. I think Odell for my system with Pat Mahomes. Come on now. That's my pick.
All right, well, thank you for destroying your locker room there. Okay, Odell, great player for those years. Hey, what's he going to be saying when Randy, Calvin Johnson, Julio getting that rock and he's getting 1 to 2 touches a game, all right? Cool. I'm going to take an unselfish guy here. Now, this was my hardest pick, right? Because, again, I wanted that scat back. Obviously, you got guys like Darren Sproles, even Tyreek Hill, right? Different body type, just to throw something different at the defense. And then I thought about it. I thought about my team. Thought about all the guys I picked. This was my last pick. I literally picked the flex last. Let me see what I need. You know who's really had a really good time with 2 tight ends? Tom Brady. So why don't I take the second best tight end ever, Rob Gronkowski, okay?
Okay.
Now listen, that's Tom's guy. He's going to be a team guy. Guess what? If you ever get bored, watch some Rob Gronkowski blocking.
Oh, yeah,
okay?
He's the best.
So I really wanted to take a fullback here, right? Goal line, you like to have that fullback, that extra blocker. Today's game's kind of gone away from that, and it sucks because I think fullbacks are very good for a team, right? They get those tough yards. That's that extra blocker for you. Well, if you've seen what the Ravens have done, they're putting 2 tight ends on the field, and I love that stuff. Let me put Gronk down Gronk down on the line as that extra tackle, and let me put Tony Gonzalez as the wing blocking, who also is a great blocker. Hey, go ahead, AP, run behind these big boys, okay? Have those guys pulling.
That's a hell of a team.
Obviously, we're going to have an all-time line with what we pick. Hey, I like that. And 2, now I can get into these double tight end sets, okay?
Yeah.
Now, guess what?
I like it.
Play action. I'm getting it. If I want to keep one of those guys in the block, cool. Guess what? The other one can go out and pass. All right? Big-time player. Obviously, that Super Bowl against the Rams, everybody in the country knew who Tom Brady was throwing it to, and he still came down with it. I just think it's hard to pick against a team that's going to be doing a lot of time management, controlling the clock, running the ball. I'm going to take that extra blocker in there and take Rob Gronkowski.
I like how your team's going. You're going, big guys. Mm-hmm. You're going run game. That wins games. I know mine is getting flashy here. It would be a good game.
It would be.
It would be a good game.
Maybe if we can figure out how to do this on Madden. I suck at Madden.
I like
so.
Yeah, me too. I like what you're doing here.
All right. You want to go your whole line here?
Yeah, I'll go whole line. My tackles, I think, God, when I saw these statistics, it blew me away. So my 2 tackles, I'll start first. Joe Thomas, 11 years. Look at it, in the league for 11 years. 7 of the 11 years, he had 1 hold or less the entire year. That's unbelievable. His max that he had, and by the way, he played every game. His max was 4 in 1 year. That's the most he's ever had. I've seen Eric Flowers hold 4 times in the game for the New York Giants. I mean, that's an unbelievable stat. Joe Thomas, left tackle. My right tackle, Baltimore Ravens legend Jonathan Ogden. 2002 All-Pro. Dude this is even better than Joe Thomas. I mean, I didn't know you could get better than that. Dude had 0 penalties in 2002, and he played every game. He had 0 holds and 0 false starts. Are you kidding me? That's literally, why don't people talk about that? I don't get any position. That might be the greatest season from any player in the NFL to be on a team that, by the way, that team was dirty. Come on now, early 2000s Ravens, yes, but to be on a team, to be your left tackle in elite, and at that time there were a lot of good pass rushers in 2002. He had 0 holds and he had 0 false starts the entire year. In his 12-year career, he had a total of 15 holds. People were doing that in 1 year. His entire career, he had 13 false starts in his entire career. We're averaging barely over 1 a year for his entire career. I mean, come on now. That's dumb. That's really dumb. And then my guard, Larry Allen, he was the guard for the Dallas Cowboys line for Emmitt Smith, who, by the way, is the leading rusher in the NFL ever. I mean, Larry Allen's a big dude. If you've ever seen a clip, there's a famous clip out there where there's a guy, a wideout running. There's like a interception or fumble, and a cornerback, is returning the ball. You see Larry Allen run 50 yards and hawk him down DK Metcalf style. And it might be the most impressive play an offensive lineman's ever made. This dude is over 300 pounds and ran just as fast as a cornerback, chased his ass down and tackled him. That alone, I'm taking him. Oh, by the way, he's an 11-time Pro Bowler, and he made the All-NFL team in 2000-2001. So, yeah, he's my guard. My other guard, a little bit of a homer pick right here, but I think he's going to be, he already is great. He made the All-Pro every single year he's been in the league, which isn't that long, but it doesn't matter. Quentin Nelson, I don't care what anyone says. I'm pretty sure he's the highest drafted guard of all time, 6th overall. I'm pretty sure that could be wrong, but he's a beast. Notre Dame offensive line, they're a factory. Zach Martin, come on now. Ronnie Stanley, Notre Dame offensive lineman, great in the pros. Quentin Nelson, that's it. My center, Kelvin, I can't even pronounce it. Mave, I don't know, Pro Bowler, 7 times in the 2000s. 7 times. His entire NFL career, he had 1,000-yard rusher every year except for 1. He's a good center. I'm picking him.
All right, pretty good there. I think our tackles, it's kind of hard to go against these two. I also picked the same 2 tackles, Jonathan Ogden and Joe Thomas. Hey, something you left out about Jonathan Ogden, he's 6'9", 345 pounds. Okay? Good luck getting around that big fella. He's going to fire off the ball every time. And guess what? He's one of the best ever. And a huge head. Okay? Big dude, big head. Look up his picture. That helmet looks 2 sizes too small on him. 11-time Pro Bowler, Super Bowl winner, 4-time All-Pro. Then you go Joe Thomas again. He's kind of that Iron Man. I heard a good stat about him. He's like that good cornerback, right?
Yeah.
A good cornerback isn't going to have all these crazy picks, this and that, because teams aren't going to test him.
No.
He goes quiet throughout the season, okay?
That's what you want.
That's the same with Joe Thomas. They always say those good players, like your left tackle's almost like your catcher in baseball too, right? Okay? That tough dude. If you have a good catcher, you never realize it because you don't realize until they make a mistake. Those are the underlying great guys that go unseen. Joe Thomas, yeah, he's not flashy. He's not exciting. but it's because he gets the job done all the time. Okay? And again, besides his last year, he played every game. You want consistency at your tackles, everybody. So my left guard is going to be Alan Faneka, okay? 9-time Pro Bowler with the Steelers. I want a tough-nosed guy. Jerome Bettis, he's blocking for. Tough nose. You knew they were running inside. Guess what? He was there. Great puller. He has a great pull in that Super Bowl that they won against the Seahawks there for Williams to take that big run and score. Just again, tough-nosed guy, was Mr. Consistent. Guys knew, and if there's a good video out there of Ray Lewis talking about how good he was at combo blocks, meaning where you help out your tackle or center with a block and then work up to the linebacker.
That creates huge holes.
He was great at helping out and working up to the linebackers. And guess what? Running backs are running right behind them. Next one, again, Mr. Consistency. Brandon brought him up in his Notre Dame lineage. I do not like the Quentin Nelson. Not saying for the future, but for this pick, there's some great guards out there. Zach Martin, okay, 6-time Pro Bowler, 4-time All-Pro. Every year he's been All-Pro or on the Pro Bowl since he's been in the league, okay, rookie and all. Obviously, they've had some great running backs there for him that have had some great years. Yeah, no shit. Guess what? It's because he's one of the part of that line. So good that they're thinking about moving him to tackle this week. That just shows you're a good lineman, right? Usually guys don't make that move in the pros. When they are 6-time Pro Bowler at guard, they don't go to tackle, okay? That just shows how much they rely on them and realize, why don't we put our best lineman, one of the best linemen ever, at tackle for us? And then lastly, man, this might be my favorite pick. I'm going to go Marquise Pouncey.
Oh, good
at
pick.
Center.
Good
Listen,
pick,
everybody.
Good pick.
Sometimes you just have to have that MFer on the line, okay?
He's a badass.
He's going to mess you up every single play. God. And guess what? He's going to ride for any guy on that team.
I love
Listen,
the Pouncey.
Am I going to say he might have a stupid penalty? Yeah, but guess what? He doesn't have those penalties. Look it up. He is a guy that does not have a lot of penalties. He's had some injuries, but when he is healthy, he's one of the best in the league year in, year out. And we know he's ride or die.
Oh, he is. Florida, Aaron Hernandez.
Listen. That man, 8-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro, okay? Hey, what's his team right now?
The Steelers.
Yeah, what's their record?
Yeah, they're undefeated.
And he's the anchor of that line. Listen, I'm going to war with that man every day of the week, twice on Sunday.
Respect.
Okay? He's going to go be an ass kicker. He's going to be great for the locker room. Guys are going to love him. And again, Bill Belichick loves those Florida guys, right? So there you go. I'm going to take Marquise Pouncey as my center. And that's it for the offense. Next week, we're going to try to go to the defense and mix in some special teams. Okay, I can't wait. I really can't wait.
Big special teams guy right here.
Love some special teams. And I really can't wait to do defense because some of my favorite NFL players of all time will be on that NFL defensive 2000 to 2020 list.
Oh, before we go, what is the over-under on a Zach Candeloro hamstring pull at the Turkey Bowl today?
So I was actually going to say, Brandon and I are playing in a Turkey Bowl. Zach is Brandon's cousin, one of my lifelong friends here. And here's the thing, we're playing in Turkey Bowl. I'm hoping to try to get some video of that to throw in here, and we can see how bad Brandon is out there with his yak. I might say Brandon might be
intramural champion.
Brandon might be the worst yak guy on the day. I am also questionable with a hammy pull. Not saying I have it already, but I think it might happen. It's going to be cold. I'm going to be explosive. I'm going to get one long run, and as soon as I get in the end zone, the hammy's going to tear. I already feel it.
And that's the thing, yak guy, whatever. I don't think so. They're all going to get injured. See, I'm still in shape. I'm good to go. I'm a fantasy football champion.
We're gonna cut it on that.